What's going on, guys? Happy Wednesday. What a freaking morning it was. We had some really good action out there in the market today. Played a lot of NAOV. We got the swing on ACHR freaking cooking. The entry on ACHR was Friday underneath $11. This thing is up at $12.50 today. We have a stop loss way above entry, like 60 cents above entry. So this thing's cooking. But NAOV, the big one of the day today, we're going to run through the exact way you could have traded NAOV today, how we did today in the live stream. This thing was picture perfect. You don't get setups like this too often. This thing was amazing. Could play it over and over and over and over. And this is exactly how I made it happen. So that was over on NAOV today. And like I said, it was literally a printer. And it's one of those setups where you dream about it. And what I mean by that is where we find the most success is whenever we just have that one obvious stock we can just zone in on and just keep on playing it over and over and over and over. Just keep on exposing ourselves. It's super predictable. We're not jumping around from stock to stock to stock. For example, yesterday we had to jump around from, gosh, there's probably 6 or 7 different stocks yesterday. This one here, though, was the only thing really moving today, which I think helped its case. I think with less action out there, people sort of gravitate towards the one obvious runner, which is what happened here today, and it ended up running about 60% after market open. So real quick, let's run through some trades from today. Again, super happy with the way today went. I would not have changed a single freaking thing and just traded a lot of really simple pullbacks off of VWAP. Pretty similar to yesterday. You can see here, beautiful trades off of VWAP. I was super happy with this. And again, first things first, what we want to do is, again, we go through the gap scan. Now, we didn't have a lot of gappers up this morning. We had about 6 things we were sort of watching into the bell, 4 primary watches, and then 2 honorable mentions, which those didn't really play out. We only really played the NAOV, which was on this morning's pre-market watch list, which you can see right here. I said to the team today that I was watching this over $1.15 for the range to $1.40 to $1.60. Lo and behold, it hit $1.60 this morning. So literally, like I said, this thing could not have been any cleaner. Let's go ahead and dive into it. So first, we want to pull up the daily time frame and see, well, hey, what do we have here? Do we have a proper setup here? Do we have any range? That's the name of the game, is do we have any range? Because without range, we have no trade. And with no range, we have no incentive. With no incentive, we are unlikely to have any buyers, and so we just have no trade. So the first thing to look at here is where's our room to the upside here. And so we can look back at the daily, and we see firsthand we have this big gap on the daily time frame. But we also see we have this past high sitting back here at 190. So we know for a fact we have this 190 sitting back here. So we've identified that. We have that 190 level there that's crucial. Now, past that, of course, we have the psychological levels to the upside as well that can play in part, sort of play a role in between, which you can actually see here as well, some more technical levels. We have this previous daily high right here at 160 as well, which you can see if we zoom in. You can see this past daily high sitting right back here on the 28th of May. So that $1.60 level there was crucial. Over $1.60, you enter this big daily gap and then have $1.90 from there. So we knew at the daily time frame, we knew we had range. We knew this thing was a massive beatdown setup, and we knew we had range. If we got above, take a look again with that confluence, we had the 20-day moving average sitting right down here at 125. So we know if we got over that 125, that we had a pretty clean look. Now, confluence. Take a look at pre-market action. We need direction. We know we have range to that 157 or 160 spot. The next question is, do we have clean trend? Do we have that confirmed direction? We did not here in pre-market. We actually had these lower highs forming here. And every degenerate and their mother out there is going to say, oh, just buy it off of VWAP here and just look for that move higher. No, we want to actually wait for the market to move higher first. We want to first wait for that confirmed direction. So wait until after the open. Had some really nice opportunities here on the breakout. You can see here, took the breakout of trend here over pre-market highs over this past level here. Took the breakout, got that killer move to the level we just now talked about off 129. Sold up into strength and just kept on playing these pullbacks, rinse and repeat. This thing was picture freaking perfect. Look at this. Pullback off of VWAP. Again, dip off VWAP, trim up, dip off VWAP, trim up into the highs. Dip off VWAP, and then got a massive move here. Biggest one of the morning actually was right here from 122 off of VWAP in this tightening wedge. Right off this tightening wedge, taking it here off, risking off of VWAP. And got to move from 122 all the way to $1.48. This thing was insane. And then again, played it off of the pullbacks off the 12 EMA. As you know, I have a pretty awesome pullback strategy where we use the 5 and 12 EMA. Now, a lot of people are out there using the 9 EMA for pullback entries when small caps, but I use the 5 and 12. The reason why is the EMA 9 is sort of a good average between the two. The thing is, though, people oftentimes will say use the 9 EMA. Check this out. If you have the 9 EMA sitting here in the middle, and then you have the 12 EMA here, and then you have the 5 EMA here. The 9 EMA is sitting here in the middle. Most people are using this 9 EMA. Meanwhile, I'm using the 5 and the 12. The issue with just using the 9 is people want to look for pullbacks, for example, off of the 9 EMA. Let me switch colors here so you can better differentiate. And they look for pullbacks off the 9 EMA, and it stops them out comes down to retest below, it stops them out their liquidity. Then it goes. And they're like, oh my God, I got stopped out and then it went. What do I do? Well, we use an EMA cloud approach. And so this is your actual range through here. And so we can sort of look for that proper spot. And we know that as long as the 5 EMA is above the 12 EMA, the stock is likely in an uptrend. So that's a valid watch. That's one of my rules that I have for myself. If the 12 is above the 5, it's not a valid watch. And that is now backside when the 12 is above the 5. But we know we can look for pullbacks as long as price is above the 12 or over VWAP. And you get really nice opportunities both ways here. Again, playing it off the 12 EMA here, up into its highs, and then all through here, taking it off of VWAP. So it's all about confluence and just trying to get all those pieces of the puzzle to come together into one to form that awesome A-plus quality setup. Of course, the more pieces you got, the more conviction you got, the greater the setup is. This thing was one of the setups this morning, like I talk about, where it's just so obvious. It literally pops out and slaps you right in the face. It was so clean, so nice. And again, just reinforces the aspect of just, you have to stick to the most obvious stock in the market. Like today, for example, I was actually watching TR&R primarily into the bell here because this thing looked fantastic. And we actually had a nice win on this. I took it off the pullbacks here, going into the open over VWAP, looking for that big breakup to the highs here, because what I was honestly looking for was a big breakup through these highs here. I was looking for that follow through that. Let me change the pin color here. I can hardly even see what I'm drawing. But see, I was looking for this move up through the highs on the breakup trend. I didn't get that. And so I quickly pivoted away from this and said, let's look for something else. Because we saw market open, these sellers come in. Because I played this from 115 to about 126. And then I took the exit on it and said, let's just move somewhere else because this thing is not moving. It's not going. And we knew on the watch list, because again, we had these setups on the list. Look, I had TR&R on the list and I had NAOV on the list. And what it boils down to is whatever meets criteria. And of course, NAOV ended up meeting criteria over 115. As you can see here, we were watching over 115, this breakout spot from pre-market, and the rest was history. So again, use VWAP, use the EMAs, trade the obvious stock. And that is really the gist of the morning. This was the last stock we really traded. Of course, we have the swing sort of cranking away on ACHR as well. This thing has been absolutely insane. You can see here entry down there underneath 11. This thing's already cranking over 12s now. Stops are definitely raised there. That's a guaranteed profitable trade now that we have those stops way above entry. So definitely sitting nicely there too. But that's how we played NAOV today. Definitely was a gift. Turned today into a really nice day. I was super happy. Let me know in the comments if you traded this thing today. If not, let me know what you did trade today. And again, the live stream this morning was absolutely on fire. We had a really good day today. And so overall, just really happy. But make sure to claim your 7-day free trial before tomorrow. Let's freaking rock the rest of the week. Another awesome day today. Hopefully this quick little recap sort of helps you out with the way that I was looking at things this morning. But a lot of really picture perfect A+ opportunities. Name of the game is just stick to what slaps you in the face. If it's not good enough to slap you in the face, it's not a good enough setup for you to risk or trade. So be smart, be safe, be responsible. Claim your 7-day free trial down in the description below. And I will see y'all tomorrow morning. Peace, guys.